The content was good, the impersonation was... There's a number of people in the audience. I wanted to invite and acknowledge my very close friend Mohammed Rafi. I think we were both chief executives. He continues to be in Luton of the largest regeneration program that the previous government put into place. He's here. I wanted him, but we're running out of time. We're going to approach Maghrib, but thank you for it. We have some previous award winners here, one of whom I'd like to acknowledge because he's given us time. The President of PMLN UK, 12Aug2014. He's given up his time because he knows Maghrib's closing, but he won a previous award in 2010 or 9, and he was awarded by David Miliband, who was our chief guest then, for the work he's done for overseas British Pakistanis while he worked for the Chief Minister's Office in Punjab in Pakistan, helping people who had land confiscation, grabbing cases, murder, manslaughter, 2 child kidnappings, and so on and so forth. Please, a round of applause for these gentlemen. A number of other people, in terms of community activism, before I invite the politicians, the last individual I'd like to invite, his accolades speak for themselves, numerous awards within the community. I hope he gets recognised in not the distant future by a national government and governments abroad. This individual was born in a part of Kashmir, Azad Kashmir, some of us come from there. His background, he come from a very disadvantaged and very poor family. You know, his father at that time was, you know, Kashmir. There was a lot of freedom fighters. He was a freedom fighter. He went to prison, and there was lots of economic problems in that particular family. He was given the opportunity to study. He studied. He came to Britain. He completed his PhD, and I have to say, he became the best role model for everyone in our community. He went on to set up one of the best private sector education institutions that I have ever seen globally. I'm going to talk about some of the achievements and accolades, and I have to say to the parents who are sat here, the people that get referred to the PRUs, the pupil referral units in schools, the most disadvantaged in our communities, their parents take those kids to this institution and they excel. And if you get an opportunity after this event, Google the site when I tell you who this individual is and what he has achieved. I'm just going to talk about some of the individuals that have come from his institution, some of whom are here tonight, so I'd like to acknowledge them as well. This institution has taught over 5,000 individuals, 5,000 students, and some of the achievements for those individuals, Mr. Zulfikar Mansoor Ali achieved 35 A-levels, 6 A stars, 25 A's, 3 B's and 1 C's in 2011. Mr. Dalal Almas passed 26 GCSEs with 22 A stars, 4 A levels 2012. In 2013, Mr. Dalal Abbas passed 9 A levels with all A stars. In the first year, surprisingly, 4 A levels with 100% marks in 24 papers. In 2013, an individual received 13 A stars and 1 A in GCSEs. I mean, this list is endless, it just goes on forever. I'm not going to list it, you're getting the gist of what I'm getting to. On the 30th of June 2010, this institute received the Excellence Award in the House of Lords. It's just inspiring to see this individual went to Azad Kashmir, and the Prime Minister of Azad Kashmir offered him to take over a number of schools, to manage them and run them, but because of his principles and moral fabric, Professor Minsky, he refused them down. For the last number of years, he's been working very closely with the Community Leadership Programme, with Sham, Nassim, and Professor Minsky, if I have to say, there's an outstanding individual that's contributed in all walks of life, the charitable sector and this sector. This is what breeds community leaders and individuals. Education gives you knowledge, empowers you to become a good community leader. I want to invite, with a round of applause, the Principal Chief Executive of Best Tutors in London, Dr. Nazir Ahmed.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good evening to all individuals. I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and also I will pay thanks to prestigious guest Lord Qurban and mayor of our hamlet. I just want to tell that sometimes there is no inspiration and sometimes there are no opportunities. And when both of these things get together, then a big blast happens and the lives are changed and the examples are created and more inspirations and more opportunities are created for the people who are not too much encouraged or the one they are disheartened and they think that we can't do anything more than either spending lives in drugs or in sometimes even some people end up in suicides. In Best Tutors, both things are happening at a time, inspiration and opportunity. I give you an example. I think most of you guys will be familiar with a famous footballer, Fabrice Mambo. He came to Britain in 2003 and he played a test match. He just came as a visitor to see some of his relatives from Nigeria, to Woltham Paris, in Walthamstow. So he played a test match for Tottenham Football Club. And he was so beautiful, he played so beautifully that Tottenham Football Club offered him nationality of Britain with the condition that if he gets a C grade in GCSE Mathematics and GCSE English. He tried here and there to find the opportunity, only 3 months for Latin exam. Every school just refused that it is not possible for a new individual from Nigeria or from abroad to Britain and pass GCSE just in 3 months. Fortunately, he just ended up to Best Tutors. I just asked him 3 questions and I just told him that by grace of Allah you will definitely pass. So in 3 months time he ended up with 2 B's. Rather than C, he ended up with B's in mathematics and English. And then he was given the nationality and also he became a very famous footballer. Maybe if you don't remember, I just give you a clue that he died for about half a minute because the doctors declared he got heart attack in one of the match and apparently he died for half a minute, but later on he was alive. When medically he was declared dead. So after this quotation I think you will be definitely my Fabrice Mambo. So in, this opportunity was not just Fabrice Mambo. Many students got this opportunity. One of my famous students who studied in Best Tutors from 1996 up to 2002, her name is Anne Maria Maffidan. If you just write on Google Anne Maria Maffidan, hundreds of links will be opened for interviews in BBC, etc., and so many in media and with video links, images, etc. She finished 7 A-levels with Best Tutors in the age of 17. At that time we were very less experienced. So she ended up in Oxford University. She completed her graduation in mathematics and economics in the age of 20. Normally students get degree in the age of 21 or 22. If they take gap year 21, 22, otherwise 21. She ended up 1 year earlier. As soon as she walked out of the university, she got the opportunity in Deutsche Bank, which is the biggest bank in Europe, as a manager post with 40,000 pounds. Now at the moment she is 29. After 9 years service, she is earning 150,000. So you see that if you end up with best opportunity, then all your life is brightened. At the moment, I am offering certain opportunities or as a, you can say, friendly links to SOAS University. One of them is I want to offer every year 1,000 pounds to the most intelligent student in leadership program. Another opportunity I've discussed with Professor Minsky that I want to offer other scholarships for the brilliant students in SOAS University, and hopefully we will have meeting to discuss further about this. So I want to emphasize on all the parents that Britain is the best place for education, but unfortunately, because of the other, you can say, these days there are many things which are attracting children to waste their time, like PSPs, etc., internet, Facebook. So because they are children, end of the day they enjoy the temporary things. If we show them the right path and we bring them for the best opportunities, they can be the best asset for us and for the whole Britain, rather maybe for the whole humanity. Because the if you see the scenario of 2011 August, right? The reason behind that was no qualification or no education. Why? Because the youngsters just thought that the only way of fun is to burn the properties and to destroy the people. Have fun with the damage of other people. But when they will be best qualified, they will try to provide peace to others to enjoy. To enjoy themselves, they will not destroy others, rather they will give peace to others. So thanks everybody and thanks for this opportunity. And once again I will thank Qurban and Mayor and councillors and all other dignitaries. Thanks.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم استغفار أستغفر الله ربي من كل ذنب أذنبته أمدا أو خطأ سرا أو علانية وأتوب عليه من الذنب الذي يعلم ومن الذنب الذي لا أعلم إنك أنت علم الغيوب وستر الغيوب وغفر الذنوب ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم صدق الله مولانا العظيم. I bear witness there is no deity worthy of worship but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was his last and final messenger and the one who delivered the message of man, life and universe for the whole of humanity, not only for the Muslims. Thank you very much for that accolade, Dr. Adil. I don't deserve it. I'm going to be your host this evening. I don't want to bore you, but just to give you a recap of where we are at. I relocated from Sheffield to London about 11 years ago, and I saw that a number of individuals within our communities in East London and wider afield were doing tremendous work in terms of community activism. But their work wasn't recognised at a local level. I mean, I'm not into this national awards. I could never compete with some of the national figures, but I want to take some of our local talent and try and recognise their achievements, because in my professional life I work for both local government and central government, and I saw that we were continuously working to regenerate the most deprived wards across the country. Now, most of those wards were populated by BME communities, and we found that disadvantage in terms of education existed, in terms of uplifting existed, in terms of motivation and empowerment existed. And in that ilk and in that fashion, I'm glad to say there's a number of people in this room I won't get to allude to, but one of the people here is Lutfur Ali, former Deputy Chief Executive of Tower Hamlets, and under his leadership and guidance was born the Community Leadership Programme. Now, the Community Leadership Programme took a cohort from these disadvantaged areas: Pakistani community, Bangladeshi community, Somali community, white working class community, targeted them to give them the skills to motivate them and empower them to have a voice for their communities. And what we tend to do every year is have like an Eid gathering and also recognise good work of individuals and bring outside speakers. And this evening I will go through some of the outside speakers we've got, and they will give you some of the skills and things they've acquired. I mean, nobody likes to call themselves a community leader, but what is a community leader? It's basically an individual that has certain qualities and certain skills, and you'll see them tonight. Sometimes they're the unsung heroes in communities, and the unsung heroes stick their head above the parapet, and usually lots of members in the community, may not like them for that reason, but they get things done. They go against the current public opinion, sometimes they go against the tide of what's happening and bring about a real change within communities. So I hope you bear with us this evening. We're trying to get through a number of speakers, so I'm going to please ask every speaker to try and stay brief and to the point. Otherwise, we will have cold dinner, and we don't want to miss Maghrib prayers. And please, when I get up, that is my sign to you to say stop. Otherwise, I'll embarrass myself and you'll embarrass yourself. And I'm going to take this opportunity to try and, in our language, I hope you know, they say, Professor Minsky, you understand that, yeah? So, although this is an agenda around Community Leadership Awards, because I'm back from Dubai after a year, I'm going to appreciate a number of things that have happened in my absence. And one of those things is to congratulate one of the largest Islamic institutions in East London, the Waltham Forest Islamic Association, and thank colleagues coming, and you'll hear from them. They recently won the elections and are now running one of the largest mosques in East London, and I hope that they tap into the concerns that people share, that mosques should be opened up, younger people should be allowed to participate, women should be allowed to participate, and we should have activity in there that promotes and welcomes non-Muslims to come in and look at what we're doing. You know, we're not extremists, rather we have a message for humanity, the message that Prophet ﷺ brought, and the people we live next door to, or the people we interact with, whether they're Muslim or non-Muslim, on the Day of Judgment they're going to ask, what was it about you that convinced us about Islam? So it's not about lecturing people, it's about your etiquettes, your mannerisms and your conduct. So when you deal with people contractually, be honest and be fair, and see people for who you are, and hopefully they want to explore that a little bit more and know where that value system comes from. Okay? Without further ado, I'm going to warm up the audience and invite a couple of our speakers. I'm going to start the proceedings by welcoming some of our elders from our mosque. I'm going to ask Raja Ilyas, please, to kick off the show. He's the General Secretary of Waltham Forest Islamic Association. A round of applause for him, please.
Lord Qurban, Mayor Tutors, Councillor Ahmed, Professor Minsky, President of PML, Nawaz Zubair Gul, and Barrister Abasab, and community leaders, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much for inviting me to the 10th annual Eid dinner. It gives me great pleasure to be invited to say a few words at the 10th annual Eid dinner and Community Leadership Award ceremony. I want to congratulate Barrister Ahmed on hosting this for a decade. It has grown in prestige and diversity, and it is privileged to be invited years and years. As the General Secretary of Waltham Forest Islamic Association, one of the largest Muslim institutes in the country, I know that this position is very important with a great opportunity, and I take it as a challenge to serve the community with honesty. In this light, whilst this is a happy occasion and don't want to make it sad one, but I have to mention the atrocity being carried on the people of Palestine. As a community, it is my duty, to obligation to voice the truth and speak up for the oppressed at all the time. And I urge everyone to do the same. Here I will take the opportunity to appoint two individuals who have made the community proud by their visible action. Firstly, Baroness Warsi for resigning on the point of principle, and secondly, Mayor Lutfur Rahman for flying the Palestine flag in support of the Palestinian cause for the freedom. Can I ask you all to join me in a round of applause for their leadership conduct? This does not mean that everyone else tonight has not done the same, but I am aware people have this. The reason I point out these two individuals is due to the public position they occupy. Finally, as a previous award winner, my message is that never compromise on the truth and say that you believe on a point of principle and always follow your Islamic values when working for a change. This is one of the key ingredients that truly makes you a leader in the heart of mind and of communities. Once again, thank you very much and Jazakallah.
That was Raja Ilyas from the Welcome for Islamic Association, someone I met when I first moved to London, and him and his son Nadeem accommodated me and welcomed me into their home, as I was Nadeem's neighbour when I first moved in. And the first platform that was given to me in East London was by Raja Ilyas when he launched his first book, so thank you for that. I'm going to next invite someone who manages the community leadership program in a very successful manner, and he's going to come and tell you about the cohorts to current students, I'm sure, and some of the things and achievements we've had and some of the qualities required for leadership. Can I please welcome a round of applause for Sham Kayum to come and say a few words. Yeah, Professor's going to come on later.
First of all, I'd like to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A very good evening to you all. It's a great pleasure to be asked to speak at this event. I'm a very new individual to Al Hamlet in East London. I'm part of SOAS, the University of London, and we've been delivering the Community Leadership Programme for the past 4 years. And I'm very proud to say that we have several members of our cohort present from previous years and also this year. It's really encouraging to see young people in the room as well as more experienced community leaders, and it's really inspiring that everybody who's here today wants to do things for others. And part of our community leadership program journey began with this strong desire that we need to make sure that we, as far as we possibly can, reach out and give a voice to those who don't have a voice, those people who are vulnerable in our communities. And our community leadership program essentially looks for individuals who wish to reach out and help others to tackle disadvantage, discrimination and adversity in general. And I'm very proud to say that many of our members have gone on to help members in our community as well as across the country and abroad. I don't think I want to say too much more than that, apart from thanking the organiser in particular to ask us to share the platform here today. Thank you very much.
The next speaker I'm going to invite on is actually someone who usually uplifts the meeting. On a serious note, I'm very humbled, and you know sometimes the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, try not to compliment me too much because it might take me to the dark side. I think, you know, we're human beings, and sometimes what happens when you compliment people, this upburst pride and arrogance comes into the heart. And we've seen people change when they occupy positions of governance or occupy positions of power. And it's unfortunate that in our homeland, whether that be in the Middle East or South Asia, we have people that now shake their hands with the 2 or 3 fingers. And this is a sign of arrogance and pride. I hope that I never lower myself to that level. Let's try to keep it focused on the issue, not on me. Keep me humble. I want to end in paradise, please. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you a little joke. If you've heard it before, please laugh anyway. And if I offend anyone, please forgive me for it. I told this, I think, at the 8th annual dinner awards, whilst my wife was present, and I actually took a beating for it, so not literally. Basically, my wife always complained and said that you never bring me any flowers. You never give me flowers. You've heard this one. Please laugh. And, you know, I was saying to my daughter that she's wrong. I always, on the dot, every month, on a particular day, I've given a flower. And she said, what do you mean, Dad? I said, ask her. So she asked her mum, and she said, no, you've never. So she come to me and she said, look, Mum's here. I said, don't I, every month, on the dot, bring you chapati flour? She couldn't say no. I bring the chapati flour, I say, cook it as well. I make chapati, and I want to test it out, you're welcome to my house in Dubai, of course. The tickets are quite expensive. Without further ado, I'm going to invite one of our, I've brought a number of speakers, some are homegrown and some are from outside. The individual I want to bring on next is his claim to fame, although I've not got it in his biography, is that David Cameron came and stayed in his house with his family, with his wife, and he reciprocated inviting this gentleman to send down his speech when he became Prime Minister. You will have seen it in the media at that particular time. And this young gentleman, he's quite active in Birmingham, at Bolton. He took over from Professor Mensky to stay here because this is the 2014 Community Leadership Award. And we've got numerous past winners, present people, outside speakers. I wholeheartedly want to, with Professor Minsky's permission, announce the winner of the Community Leadership Programme and thank SOAD. And I want to invite Sham onto the stage and our two final speakers as well, Deputy Mayor Ohid and Lord Qurban, please, to make the presentation to our winner. Then we will hear from Ohid and Lord Qurban as our final speakers. You have 7 minutes before you, between you, to make those speeches, because Imam Shah Sahib will lead Maghrib prayers and we will do Azan at 8:45, 46. So the winner of the Community Leadership Award 2014, if you put your hands together for Dr. Nazir Ahmed, please.
Sidhu Saab?
Dr. Saab?
Dr. Nazir.
If you don't want the award, I'll take it. I should have said it comes with a check. If you put, no, if you put Dr. Saab, just one bouquet, please. Sham, do you just quickly want to say something on behalf of SOAS?
Part of the reason why we've given this award to Dr. Nazir is because by the time students come to SOAS, we're teaching graduates, postgraduate, research students. It's so important to make sure that we start at the grassroots level. And the work that best tutors have done has certainly impressed us. And I'm so pleased that we can give this award to Dr. Nazir to recognise his achievement in the community.
Thank you, Professor Minsky and Sham. Very, very quickly, I want to just say thank you to all the councillors, community leaders in the room, the mosque committee members, the imams, Councillor Joar Khan, Councillor Yaka Ali, thank you very much for coming from Alton Forest.